Yeah, welcome back. It's a day 5. In this class we learn about while loop. While loop. So prior to this we discussed about for loop, then if statement, then variables. So this is a part of a language, any language, not only Python. So it's a C, C++, Visual Basic, C#, Java. So take any language, you need to learn all these things. It's a small part of the whole language. So if your language is so big, let's say this much big, this cover only this much part. So in the beginning it looked like it itself is a very big, but actually it's a small part. So these things we need to know thoroughly, then we can move on and we can learn the rest of the programming, and we can use the program to write the corresponding project. But in future the projects are not small, they are very big. So particularly when you talk about AI, there is artificial intelligence, machine learning, ML, image processing, so it may be video editing, so autonomous device. So when you talk about autonomous, the device should work automatically by itself. Okay, so almost all devices we want to make autonomous, therefore they do their work properly. So it may be you take a car, so car should run from destination to from place to place. Okay, from where to where, from A to B. You take a drones, so you want to delivery, second drone should go from A to B place. So you should carry the luggage. So for all this the programs are required. So therefore we need to learn in detail. When you go to that level, the lines of code is totally very big. So for in the beginning we'll have a limited number of lines of code that we need to learn thoroughly, then easy for us to write the bigger projects. Okay, so we'll come back, we'll concentrate today about the while loop. While loop. So let us understand what is while loop, how to use the while loop. So we already discussed about if statement, for statement. Today we're going to discuss about the while statement. So while loop, to repeat number of times specified. So how many times you want, we can repeat the work. So iteration means, what is repetition is called as iteration, means executing the same block of code again and again. That's what iteration. One iterate means one time execution. Two times iterate, so two times executions. And the loop will have two types. One is indefinite loop, one is a definite loop. So indefinite, it is a continuous, it will not stop only. So but we at one point we need to stop that. Definite, so we want to run the loop for the particular number of times itself. That is a definite loop. But if it is indefinite, so you would have proper break system. So otherwise if that break, so system will endlessly running the same loop again. But anyway, so therefore we have to take care, it should not be indefinite. So it should always be definite. So here is the syntax, while loop syntax. A while expression, what is the expression? Then we can write the statements. Okay, so here is one first example. We'll see that what will happen to endless loop. Fine. So control V. So while true means it's always true only, because we specify it straight away as a true. True, false. False means wrong, true means right. Okay, if it's right, print endless. So print endless. So the program will be print endlessly. So you can see that it's keep on printing. So how long you run? So till that time the endless will be keep printing. Now you want to stop it. There are two ways. You can press the Ctrl C, or you need to close the window. So you need to press Ctrl C. So the program will be braked, and we can stop the program. So therefore take care when you have the endless loop. So therefore whether you have to close the program or you need to press Ctrl C. So next one is another example. So let us use like while loop to print some values or print numbers. So you can see that while n less than 5, loop number. What is a loop number? So this is a loop number I want to print, and don't forget to increment the value. So whenever you have a value, you must have to increment the value. So here what is the meaning of n plus is equal to 1? So the meaning of n plus is equal to 1 is n1 is equal to n1 plus 1. Okay, so what are the number plus 1 has to be added. Okay, let's save this and execute this. Press any key to continue. So there is nothing is happening. What happened? So we are expecting it should print here, right? It's not printing. Why is not printing? So maybe the reason is here n1 is equal to 5. Initially only the value is 5 and you will check the condition if n1 less than 5. So it's already 5, 5 is not less than 5, so therefore the loop will not work. So then what happened? So we have to initialize this to 1, okay? So if it's 1, 1 is less than 5, so therefore loop has to execute. Fine. Now you can see loop number 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times is executed. So you want 5 also to be executed, then you have to put a equal sign here. Less than or equal to 5. So it's include 5. Fine. So let's take another example. This time we'll take a list. Okay. So A is equal to 1, 2, 3. So 3 items are there here. So what you want to do is we want to print all. So again and again you see that in Python we have a list, we have a tuple, we have a set, we have a dictionary. So all we can utilize regularly. Particularly in data science, this is very, very important. So A is equal to 1, 2, 3. 3 items are there. First initially I is equal to 0, so I value is equal to 0. Then why I less than 3, print A of I. So A of I is, A is the list, A list, I is the index number, A of 0. So initially it's a 0. The first item has to be printed, then second, then third. Okay. So once it's I less than 3 up to 2 should work. Right. So now if I execute this, 1, 2, 3, all the 3 items are printed. So this is one example while we are using here. So this is the list. So we have 3 items here. Initialize, because when you are using the while loop, your condition, so you need to initialize the variable, because what is I value in the beginning. So I value should be 0 or any value. So that this time it is 0. So 0 less than 3, true. Then we'll go to this. So A of 0 will print the first item. Then again the value will be incremented. Now it becomes 1. So 1 is less than 3. So A of 1, that is 2. Again it becomes 1 plus 1, so it becomes 2. 2 less than 3. A of 2, so that for A of 2 is the 3. 3 will printed. Then again will come 2 plus 1, so it becomes 3. 3 less than 3. 3 is not less than 3. Therefore the while loop stops work and then will come out of the loop. So you want to say print completed. So once the loop is over, it should print the completed. So you can see that completed is printed here. Right, so we'll move on. We'll take another example. Okay, so here we have the pop. So what pop will do? POP. Right, so here again list A, while A means if there are items in A, while A indicating if there are items in A. So there must be items. Okay, if it is empty, so this will not execute. It is not true. So if there is given one item, that is true. If there is no items, then it becomes false. So here A dot pop minus 1. So what is A dot pop will do? A dot pop will remove the item. So pop it to remove. Remove what? Remove minus 1. So minus 1 is counted from this side. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So when you have this set, this list, minus 1 indicating this one. If you count from the left to right, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Whereas if you count from right to left, this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 like this. Okay. So now you can say pop minus 1. So you need to remove this. When you remove this, we left with only these 2. Okay. And then again you remove this one. Then you are left with 1. you remove that also, then it becomes empty, then it won't work. Let's execute and check. 3, first will pop out the 3, then it will pop out 2, then it will pop out the 1, then the list becomes empty, so therefore it won't do anything, so the statement is over. Now if you want to see like what are the items are there, okay, so let's say print A. So in the beginning it will have 3 items, 1, 2, 3, so therefore it will pop out 3, so we will left with 2, 1, 2. When you pop out 2, so you left with only 1. When you pop out 1, so that means when you remove 1, you left it empty, so therefore the program stops. So very important, so you need to understand thoroughly this. In future you should know like how to do this. So you are removing the items here. Okay. So next one here, to find number of items you enter and then find the sum of them. So it is a program. Fine, you can see that num is equal to 0, so therefore initially num is equal to 0. Alright, so it's true. So we'll ask to enter the number, or we ask to enter -1 to exit. Okay, so when I say -1 will come to this. So if it's greater than 0, it will do the job. Then up to this is the loop. So we'll go back to check what is the num value. Num is -1. So -1 is not greater than 0. Therefore we'll exit the loop. So it's a kind of endless loop. So till you entering numbers only, it'll keep on adding the numbers. So once you enter -1, then you can exit the program. Here 3 variables. Num is one variable, count is another variable, sum is a one more variable. So count we use to count how many times you enter the number. Count is used to check how many times you enter the number. Sum is what are the number you enter, we want to add that number. You want to add that number. Then you want to find out the average. So therefore you can see that average functions and we will find the average of the sum. So you want to print sum also, we can do so here. So sum also we can print. So therefore this count is here. So total sum, that is sum. Then average, okay. So here is average. So it is a sum, then number of inputs, that is count, and this is the fine. So let us execute this. Okay. So enter any number -1 to exit. Okay. Let's enter 25. So again it will ask the same question. Do you want to continue? You can enter the number. So again I will enter 25, again 25, again 25. How many times I entered? 4 times. Now I will enter -1. So now what happened? Because of -1, so it comes out of the loop. Now average, sum, what is the sum divided by count will do. Then average we are getting. So average is, total sum is 100. Number of times is executed 4 times. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. So therefore 25 is the average. So execute again. So let's enter 25, 36, 45, 100. So -1, or you can enter some more numbers, no problem, you can keep on enter. Then you can enter -1. So you'll get the total. So 6 times total is 400 and then the average is 66.66. Great. So this is how this program works. So while number greater than 0, because initially it is 0, so therefore it's true will come, and here you ask to enter the number, with number will go to number variable, and that number is greater than 0 will go to the count, and sum will be there, and then again loop will go back there. If we enter -1, so it will come out of the loop and it will do the calculations. Okay, so please try this. So next is we have breaks and continue statement. Break is when you have a loop, for some reason or some things has happened, then you don't want to continue. So you have to break. For example, let's say, so you have the vehicle. Okay, so vehicle is moving. So let's say your vehicle is going on. Okay, so what you have to do is immediately there is obstacle. So immediately you need to brake, and then you have to stop. Same in the program. So here keep on executing the loop 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. Okay, so sometime you need to execute up to 5. Sometime it should be execute only up to 3. Sometime it should execute only up to 5. Sometime you have to execute up to 1. So in that case, if it should be executed only 1 in this particular day, okay, so day 1 you want to execute only up to 1, then you have a break here. So day 2, fine, so you want to break it here, but day 3 it should work up to 3. Up to this it work, here you should have a break. So likewise, there is a concept. Let's understand how this works. And then continue. Continuous, you should go back to the statement again, while statement again. Don't execute the rest of the code. So immediately go back to the while. So break should go out of the statement, sorry, out of the loop. Continue should go back to the loop. So what are the statement, rest of the statement should not execute. So this works. So here is an example 1, 2, 3. So print I. So here is a break. Okay. So let's see that what will happen. So in this example we have a set. Sorry, is a list actually. So in a square bracket is a list. Okay. So list A 1, 2, 3. So I is equal to 0. Initially I is equal to 0. I less than 3. That is true. Print A of I. So it should print 0. That is 1. I plus is equal to 1. It becomes 1. So if it is equal to 1, then you say break. So break means you should stop the work. Don't print the rest of the things. So let's see what will work or not. So you can see that 1 and it stopped. Okay, it's not printing 2 and 3. Even though there is a 2 and 3, so we don't want to print it. Now we'll say this is 2. Now we'll print first 2, then it has the break. So therefore based on the conditions we can break it. That is the concept of break. When you say break, the loop will stop. So the cursor will come out of the loop and will continue the next, whatever the next is written here. For example, if there is a print option here, let's say test. Okay, so this is the outside loop, so we given as a test. Now if you execute this, you can see that 1, 2 test. So this will execute. This will come out of the loop and what are the rest of the statement will be executed. So same way there is a continue. Let's see what will happen to continue. So again we have the same list. I is equal to -1. So this time we take as a -1. I less than 2. Then I is equal to I plus 1 -1 plus 1. It becomes 0. Print 0. If I is equal to 1, continue. Now 0, it shouldn't continue. So when it becomes next time, I is equal to 0 plus 1, 1. Print I, 1, that should be printed. If is equal to 1 is equal to 1, continue. So we shouldn't print the next statement. Right. Let us save this. So now see what happened. First time is -1. -1 is true. -1 plus 1 becomes 0. Print I, 0 is printed. So here 0 is equal to 1, false, will not do anything here. A of 0, 1. A of 0 is 1, printed. Next, here it comes 0 less than 2. 0 plus 1, 1. Print I is printed here. Then 1 is equal to 1, 1 is equal to 1, true, continue. Therefore don't execute rest of the code, immediately go back to this. So therefore 2 is not printed here. 2 is not printed, so let's go back. Then 1 plus 1, 2, print 2, so 2 is printed. Then 2 is equal to 1, false. Then 2, a of 2, 3. So therefore the item 3 is printed here. So that's how the continue statement works. So continue will not execute rest of the code. Okay, once this continue executed, the rest of the code will not execute, but will go back to the loop. So this is about continue statement. So next we have one line loop statement. So you can also write a loop statement in a single line. So here is an example, single line. So n is equal to 5, if n greater than 0, n minus equal to 1, print n. So what is n minus 1? So if you say n minus 1, n is equal to n minus 1, okay. So n minus equal 1 means n is equal to n minus 1, okay. So now first initially 5 is there, so is greater than 0, correct. Then we reduce the number, it becomes 4. So then it should print, then so like that, okay. So let's execute this. 4, first time it is 4. So why becomes 4? So because 5 initially is 5 greater than 0, true, will come to this statement, n minus 1. So therefore 5 minus 1 becomes 4, 4 will go to this n, then print n. So n will add 4, so therefore 4 will printed. Again will come to loop. So now 4 greater than 0, correct. 4 minus 1 becomes 3, print 3. Then 2, then 1, then 0. So 0 is not greater than 0, so loop stops. So this you can write a single line statement. Then there is also called as a else class. With while you can use the else. So why it's important else? Maybe that importance very less. Because any statement you write outside this indent, it always prints. Here what happens, once the loop completes, this statement will print. When it will not print, if you use a break statement inside the while, then it will not print. Otherwise, once the loop is get over, it always prints. So what it print? It print as a OK. Okay, let's see that what happened. So you can say 1, 2, 3, OK is printed. But if I say if I equal to 2, then you can say break. I is equal to break. Okay. So when you say break is executed, the rest of the code will not execute. So therefore even this will not be executed. So 1, 2. Press any to continue. So therefore this is not printed. Print OK is not printed. So only when you use the break, this statement will not be printed. Otherwise, most of the time it will be printed. Okay. So therefore instead of writing there, you can write in the main this thing only. Here only you can write print OK. Once the loop is get over, you want to print something, we can write here also. But this one, even there is a break, this one will print. Okay. Let's say print OK2, this is OK1. So OK2 will always print, okay, irrespective of your while loop, OK2 will print because OK2 is outside the loop. Whereas while else print OK1 is with respect to the while loop. So in the while loop, if you use the break statement, this will not print. Otherwise, so if there is no break statement, even that will print. So 1, 2, 3, OK1, OK2. So this is about else actually. Fine. So these are things we need to learn about while statement. So in future, in case necessary, we'll discuss more about while. And when you're doing some small projects, we'll see like how to use the while in that particular project. So we have a series, a small project series from 1 to 100. So keep watch that videos also. And if you have any doubts, please write it in the comment box. Let me know. And if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. Thank you very much.